Hello, my name is Pastor Sam Chamelin, and I'm pastor at St. Mary's United Church of Christ in Silver Run, Maryland. I'm coming to you today from the swine exhibition ring at the Maryland State Fair. This place holds a lot of memories for me and my family, and has shaped us in many, many ways. As I look around this ring, I know that my kids usually load up their hogs over here. I know that a good friend of ours, Mr. Dave, he always sits right over there and watches the show. One of my favorite people here at the State Fair, Mr. Jim Martin, he's been exhibiting here for 75 years. His pigs are usually right back there. And behind the camera is where the kids usually assemble to watch their friends' show and cheer them on. I come to you from here today because I want to share with you my passion and St. Mary's passion for rural ministry. And I remember in seminary, we had sat down to lunch with some of the seniors who were about to get assigned to their region. And I remember one particular student looking across the table and bemoaning that she was about to be placed in a rural church and that she couldn't wait to get out of there as quickly as possible. And that impacted me deeply. That's me. That's my parents. That's my grandparents. Those are my children. Those are the people who have raised me. And from that day, I knew that I would be called to a life of rural ministry. And I have lived that life for 16 years. Rural churches are often looked at either as a first call opportunity where you get some experience and then you move on, or they're looked at as a near retirement opportunity for older clergy who have come to the end of their ministerial careers. And we need churches that can do both those things, I get it. But someone has to choose these kinds of churches to do their best and most meaningful work. And my family and I have made a decision that we want to not only serve rural churches, but we want to be involved in rural life as expression of our faith and our vocation and our calling to the world. Being at St. Mary's has been very, very special to me because there's a lot of rural churches that talk about being agriculturally rooted, but giving the massive shifts in food production and in rural life, a lot of times those stories are more memory than reality. But St. Mary's is different. At St. Mary's, we have generational families who are still very much involved in agricultural production. We have families who still participate in fairs such as this. And we have young people who are ready to step up and to make their life a vocational calling towards agriculture and towards serving their communities as well. And so when we say at St. Mary's that this kind of rural life, living close to the land, living close to creation, and committed to serving others through food production, that we will have a unique experience of the Creator, that resonates deeply in the soul of St. Mary's. And they have built a ministry and built a life around making sure that we serve those people. We serve our farmers in their successes and in their failures, when it never rains and when it pours, in their loves and in their traumas. They established a community garden project and have supported our food pantry long before I showed up, because they understood that food was one of the critical ways that Jesus did his work, and it's one of the critical ways that we can do ours. And they understand that if we live our lives in service of our ecosystems and our environments around us and serving our neighbors, that is a way for us to grow deeply in the life of God. And so we've committed ourselves to doing this work in places like this. And we want to see to it that greenhouses and livestock rings and barns and hayfields are just as much a place for the proclamation of the gospel as our pulpits and our sanctuaries, our baptismal fonts, and our communion tables. That is the work that we are committed to. And we want that work to lead us to see what a next generation rural church can look like. And so this sabbatical will be critical for us all, because we've lived this journey now for 4 years, going on 5. And we look forward to that time of rest and renewal to contemplate where we're at and what God might be calling us to in the future in places just like this. And we hope that you will join us in rejecting the idea that rural churches no longer have anything to offer the world, but rather can make an investment in rural churches being a place where we make a unique and essential contribution to the world.